Well, one thing's for sure. This is the Karate Kid movie for the TikTok generation. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here, back with another movie review. This time we're taking a look at Karate Kid Legends, directed by Jonathan Entwistle and starring Jackie Chan and Ben Wang. Now you know how we handle the reviews here. I'll give my overall thoughts, talk about the story, get into the acting, talk about the direction, the sound design and soundtrack, and instead of doing effects this time, we're going to talk a little bit about the choreography and then get into our closing thoughts. So let's jump right into it. Real quick before we get going, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on Karate Kid Legends down below. Starting things off with my overall thoughts, this movie was decent. It wasn't anything terrible. It wasn't anything great. I will say right off the bat, what stood out to me is things move very quickly. This is a movie that has scenes in it that I swear are shorter than TikTok videos. There are moments where I'm just like, what? That was it? That was the scene? We had these two actors here and they say like 3 sentences to each other and that's it. We're moving on. It is such a swiftly paced movie, and I know I'm usually complaining about runtimes on the channel, especially with my reviews and especially with my reviews of modern movies, but I do think this is a film that could have just sat around and breathed a little bit more, or maybe didn't have to pack in as much as it tried to pack in, and we would have gotten to know our characters a little bit better, got to understand the stakes a little bit better as well, and things wouldn't seem so rushed and thrown by the wayside. The story follows Li Fong, played by Ben Wang, who's practicing kung fu at his uncle's school in Shanghai. However, when his mom gets a brand new position in New York City, they have to uproot and move immediately. Not only that, but mom does not want him practicing martial arts at all. After they arrive in the Big Apple, Li makes some friends, makes a few enemies as well, gets into a handful of scraps here and there, and has the chance to prove himself in a city-wide karate tournament. Will Lee prove to his mom and everyone else that he truly is the best around? Only time and help from a couple legacy character senseis will tell. Jumping into the acting on this one, I think Ben Wang is pretty good here as Lee. He's pretty charming, he pulls off all the moves really well, and he is the character that we get to spend the most time with, of course, so you really get to know him. Ming-Na Wen, who I've seen in shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and The Mandalorian, though, she's done better before. I think she's been better in both of those TV shows, acted with more conviction, and granted, she isn't in this movie very much, but I feel like the performance is kind of phoned in. Joshua Jackson was kind of a surprise to me. I actually forgot that he was in this movie, and it took a couple scenes for me to realize, oh shit, that's Joshua Jackson. He looks totally different than we've ever seen before. He's in better shape than I've ever seen him in anything. I mean, I didn't watch Dawson's Creek or anything like that, so I guess I'm just kind of going off Skulls and urban legend. But yeah, he does a solid job here. Jackie Chan is great as Mr. Han here. I mean, I just find this guy so charming. I like him in everything I've seen him in. He's still got the moves, he's got the comedic timing, and he brings a lot of heart to this film. However, I think the low-key standout is Sadie Stanley as Mia. Now, she plays Lee's love interest, but she's also the daughter of Joshua Jackson's character, and they run this pizza shop together. She is so incredibly likable here. She's just got this attitude, like plenty of spunk, just really puts in a great performance. And I think one of the things this film sort of let me down in is she could have been in this movie a hell of a lot more. She is so charming right off the bat, and I wanted to see so much more of her here. And unfortunately, our villains aren't too memorable here because they don't get that much screen time as well. There's Aramis Knight, who plays Connor Day. He's the main villain. He's the high school kid that's picking on Lee, and there's just not much development there. We get a little bit of him at the beginning, maybe a little pepper here and there in the middle, and then of course you've got your final showdown at the end. But I felt there really wasn't that kind of earned animosity the way that we had in the original film. When it comes to the directing by Jonathan Entwistle, I think he did a pretty serviceable job here. The action scenes are shot well, the choreography looks good also, but man, the editing. Like I said in my overall thoughts, there are so many scenes that just go by in a flash in this movie. It almost feels like the roundup of last season on Karate Kid Legends. So, the editing could have taken a little more time to breathe. However, I will say for some of the montage scenes here, particularly the training scenes and just when Lee is getting used to being in the big city, those work pretty well for me. When it comes to the music, there are a lot of modern pop songs here. A whole bunch of songs that I don't even know, but they do make sure to have a couple needle drops for us boomers in the crowd, which was, somewhat pleasing there as well. The sound design was really good. I think that really helped in selling the fight scenes in a big way. But the thing is, I don't really recall there being a score. I mean, I'm sure there was a score. There's got to be a score, right? There's just nothing too memorable there, just a whole bunch of pop music. Okay, let's talk about the fighting. And full disclosure, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fight choreographer, so take anything I say with a grain of salt because I probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I think some of the fighting here was pretty well choreographed and a lot of fun, but I do think at the end when we get to our big old tournament, they really whisk you through it very, very quickly. I mean, prime example of the chop editing in this film. Things just go by really quick, but the final fight, I thought, packed a pretty good amount of tension given that this movie is just an hour and 34 minutes. And compared to how quickly everything else goes by, I felt like they tried their best to take their time there. But man, Ben Wang is very accomplished in what he does here. He sells it in the fighting. For me, he sells the humor and he sells a lot of the emotion too, which is clearly felt in these fight scenes. So wrapping everything up, guys, do I recommend you see this in the theater? Probably not. I mean, if you're a little kid, then maybe this would be the kind of thing for you. Or if you're somebody my age that has younger kids, you've watched Cobra Kai, they've watched the show as well, they're kind of caught up on the older movies, then I think this could be a pretty fun outing for the family. But honestly, I think you can just wait until streaming on this one. It just didn't have that epic feel that I wanted from a movie called Karate Kid Legends. It just flew right on by like a couple episodes of a TV show. Giving it a star rating, I would say this one is between a 2 and a 2.5 out of 5 stars. By no means a bad movie. I mean, there was nothing offensive here. I just felt like I didn't get to really sit and get to know the characters very well other than Lee. And I wanted to bask in some of the drama and just get to sink into the world a little bit more here. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to check this one out in the theater? Are you a fan of Cobra Kai and just can't wait to see Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan in a Karate Kid film together? Let me know in the comments. Before we head out, I've got to give a thank you and a shout out to our Patreon members and our YouTube channel members. You guys are awesome. I love you so much. This channel wouldn't be what it is without you. Thank you so much for checking out my review of Karate Kid Legends. Please make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. I go live all the time. I'm trying to get better at dropping pre-recorded vids, and I'm dropping shorts all over the place, so stick around for a while and hang out. That's going to do it for me this time around, guys, but you know the drill. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.